Cool.
All right, Gerry, you ready to go, man? We're gonna get into this thing right now, buddy. Christmas was okay for you, man. We just passed Christmas. We're about to hit New Year's. I don't know. I think I might get turned up Saturday night. What about you, man?
I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna actually probably take it pretty easy.
Take it pretty easy. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta start the year with a clear mind, man. So I'm gonna probably take it pretty easy. I'm starting 75 hard again next week. I did it last year.
Oh man, it's so funny. I got the book. I got the thing. Like last year this time, I ain't done nothing with it, man.
Well, I think that goes perfect with what's going on with people in our business and our industry, right?
Oh,
a lot of us have the intention, but it's all about the follow through, man. It's about the process, not always the outcome.
Getting in there and doing the work. I mean, let's just be honest. It's not like we can't make the time, for 45 minutes to an hour. It's not like we can't,
Bro.
But yeah, I think maybe, I don't know. I'll dust off. I'm looking back. I know I've got the book 75 Hard. I downloaded the app.
Don't overthink this, Earl. January 2nd, anybody out there that wants to do it, we got a group of guys doing it. It's a commitment, but we're gonna have a little team to do it together. Last time I did it by myself.
I'll go ahead and join you, man. I'm going to make the commitment to join you guys. How do we join you? Like, you got a Facebook page or something like that?
Yeah, man. Hit me up, and we're gonna make a group chat and everything out of it. So,
all right, perfect. Because that support this kind of thing, and then you hold each other accountable.
That's it, dude. So, a lot of people said they were gonna do it, but when push comes to shove, let's see what really happens. So, I did it all by myself last year, so it was a little tough. Nobody in my house did it. So, but you know what I found? Dude, check this out. So what I found is I actually had my wife, when I told her I was going to do it, she goes, dude, you're working a ton. How are you going to have time to do this? I said, I'm going to make time.
You got to make
time.
And
I actually spent more time with my family and had more free time because I structured my day a lot more.
Okay.
So you'll be surprised what you can do. Now, don't get me wrong. You may have to get up a little earlier than usual, but it's going to be all right.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I mean, it's the same thing in our business and stuff too. It's like with, what are you going to commit to?
That's it, dude.
I think a part of that, Gerry, is I think a lot of people don't have an end goal, like an end goal, and then doing the steps to get to that end goal. Sometimes I think a lot of people are just kind of flying by the seat of their pants, waking up doing whatever they're doing in the morning or whatever, and not really. There's nothing to work towards. I mean, a financial goal is one thing, right? But have you reverse engineered that financial goal to see what it is that you need to do every day to get to that goal? I know I did. I forget the podcast I did with. I can't remember the guy's name, but basically, he broke it down and just said he figured out he made $17 per dial.
Yeah.
That's what he figured he made, $17 per dial. And he made the analogy. He's like, if I give you $1 per dial that you make, how many dials will you make? If I'm going to give you $1. And he said, now, if I'm going to give you $1, are you going to care if anybody answers? Are you going to care if anybody cusses you out? Are you going to care if they say, well, I don't know, I got to think about it or whatever? Or do you just want that $1? He's like, but if you look at it and approach it from the point of how many dials you make, you're going to make $17 per dial.
Yeah.
Per dial. And
I broke that down one time.
Yeah. I mean, the only way he reverse engineered it. Okay, I made this much money. I made this many dials. This is how much money I made per dial. Now, okay, if I want to make this amount of money, okay, I got to make this many dials. It's like, he said, this is super simple to make this money, but you've got to take the emotion out of it. You've got to just get that emotion out of what it is that you're doing and make the freaking dials, and you'll make the freaking money. You know.
All right, so I love that you're saying that right now, because next week when we start the program, you got to take the emotion out of it. Okay, you're gonna feel like crap some days. You're not gonna feel well. Your foot's gonna hurt.
Come on.
It's
Muscles.
gonna be raining. It's gonna be raining. It's gonna be storming. You're gonna go outside and get wet. It's gonna be okay. At the end of the day, the last thing you want to do is read your 10 pages. You're gonna read your 10 pages and not just read it, but take something out of it.
Yeah.
So
well, that's interesting too, because I know that like the stuff like we're drinking the water, reading the physical pages, because I'm in the middle right now of writing a book. So it's like with that, but I still have to read something else, on some sort of level, whether it's business, whether it's motivation, self-help, whatever it is. Because when you start getting that stuff in your mind and you do it on a regular basis, you'd be surprised how much it opens up your mind about yourself and what it is that you're actually doing. And we can sit and be busy. It don't mean we're doing anything.
That's right.
We can be busy,
That's
right? But you ain't doing anything. Who was the rapper that said, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, right?
Well, so dude, let's talk a little bit about this money and commission stuff, bro. So,
man,
what questions you got? Let's what are you thinking about this stuff?
I mean, with the commission thing, here's the thing. I mean, we've got, IMOs and stuff out there like that talk about they have the best comp, which, could be true, could be not, whatever. And people are always wanting to get the best comp. But here's the thing. You can have the best comp in the world. You can be making 200%, right? Whatever. You can be making the highest comp you can ever make. But if you don't know how to sell, if you're not making sales, none of that matters, right?
Yeah.
And so people that are looking for that highest comp level is fine, but you still have to do the work in order for that comp to make sense. And now too, it kind of depends on like the kind of team that you're with or that you get pulled onto that comp level. Some IMOs, FMOs, whatever, they'll say you want to start everybody at this percentage. And that may not make sense because of how you're running your business. I mean, let's just examine, if I'm giving you leads, I'm not giving you high comp. I'm not giving you the highest comp because I'm paying for your leads. I'm giving you your leads. Now, when you're ready and you're making enough money, okay, we'll move you up to the highest comp you want because now you're responsible for your leads. But I think sometimes we kind of miss the boat just dealing with life insurance agents coming into the business and thinking they're going to crush it. But now if you're a leader, you've got to lead that person. You've got to train that person. You've got to spend time with that person. And there's all these ancillary things that you have to do. So comp can be attractive to a lot of people if they've been in for a while, right?
Yeah.
But I think most of us, when we came in, I remember, when I came in, I was captive. I was, 35% comp, man, I can make a ton of money doing this. Because I didn't know anything about life insurance. I didn't know anything about it. I just came into the ecosystem. And so they're showing me all this paperwork and this stuff and these pamphlets. And you can make this much money. And, the person will tell you, well, I make this much money. And so I'm going to get a piece of what you do because I got to train you to do this. But then you start, just had a conversation yesterday about this. When you don't start doing investigating like this until you're in, right? Mm-hmm. And then that's when you find out, wait a minute, I'm making 35. I can make 80, 90, 100 selling the same stuff. So comp level is that thing. I think it is put out by the IMOs, FMOs, but then it's re-engineered or refocused on by the person that's bringing that person on, depending on what it is that you have to do. I mean, I don't sell life insurance anymore. I did it long enough or whatever, but you're still in the game, right? So, well, like, what's your take on the comp thing, or how to kind of bring people into the fold and understand what comp is all about?
Yeah, so dude, I think high comp obviously is attractive because you want to get paid, right? I mean, at the end of the day,
Right,
you want to
right.
make some good money. Now, at the end of the day, right, you got to understand that if you don't sell a policy, you're not going to make any money. You could have 30% comp or 130% comp. It doesn't really matter if
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what you're doing. So sometimes you have to make sacrifices, right? So you have to make sacrifices in the comp to be able to work with the right team,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that, for me, right? For example, when I bring somebody on, I have to figure out where they're at. I have to figure out what their goals are. I got to figure out how much training it's going to take, right?
Yeah,
Because I make the most money when I'm talking and protecting families myself, right?
exactly.
It also, if I'm not there communicating and having conversations with families, they're not getting what they need, right? As far as life insurance. So, we're taking away from them. We're taking away from me to give back to you. I got to be
Mm-hmm.
able to, one, be
Mm-hmm.
incentivized, but two, make sure that this relationship is going to work. And comp is just one of the variables that goes into it. I'll tell you guys this. I think a lot of the folks in the industry are leaning more and more towards, and this has been a model. There's 100 different models, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, I'll give you the most comp. You buy your own leads. Well, if you don't have money, that system's not going to work because they eventually won't make enough money to buy the leads.
Right, right, right.
Um, I'll pay for all your leads, bring you a lower comp. Well, eventually they feel like they're being cheated somehow, or their leads suck or whatever, right? Because there's always complaining going to be. You'll be captive and your chargeback commission will be different, but you're at 30%. You're like, okay, well, whatever. So there's the catch with everything. The most important thing in the life insurance business, okay, I'm very adamant about this now. It's who you're going to partner with. Okay. You can
Mm.
negotiate comp, you can negotiate leads, you can negotiate all those things. Um, but who do you want to go partner with? And are you willing to sacrifice a little bit of pay to win a championship? So I refer it
Mm-hmm.
to sports, right? When you're a young athlete, right? You're just trying to get the bag, right? You're just trying to get paid,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? And as you should, man. Like you don't have much. Now, what do you notice when athletes start getting older and they haven't won it yet? They start sacrificing money to go to teams that can
Mm-hmm.
potentially win a championship,
Mm-hmm.
right? When if you ask them, right, of course, dude, that's money. Like you got to get paid, right? I mean, you only get paid so many times, especially as a pro athlete. So, but here, I think about it this way. I think, man, if I just found the right coach that could develop me, I'm only going
Mm.
to continue to get better. By getting better, I'm going to continue to get paid more, right?
Yeah.
So I also look at it a lot like Shark Tank, right? So, you watch Shark Tank, bro?
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Shark Shark Tank's a beast, right? I love that show. I can honestly go down a path of watching it for hours if I'm not careful. So, um, most of the time when people come in, right, they over exaggerate their business and the value of their business. That's the biggest thing that happens with these folks.
Yeah.
And then the sharks get all mad about it, right? But then they also, if you notice, all the sharks usually say, hey, I have to have enough of an incentive and enough of the piece of the
Exactly.
company to
Exactly.
actually care to help you.
Yeah.
Right. And the same thing happens here. Like people have to have enough. Like I have to have enough. My time's valuable, right? That sounds like super arrogant, but time is
No, but
valuable.
it's true though.
I gotta have enough to make it worthwhile, man. If I'm gonna take 3 hours out of my day where I could be doing other things, spending time with family or protecting families or whatever, bro, you gotta make it like you gotta put the work in because if I don't
Exactly.
get paid, if you don't get paid,
Well,
right?
the whole thing
So
about being an entrepreneur in this business too is like people don't look at it as a business, but it is a business, and your time, like you said, is valuable. It's like if you want me, here's the thing, and I do this with some of the consulting that I do. You want me to teach you how to make money,
mm-hmm.
but you don't want me to benefit from me teaching you this skill. That's not right. It's not fair to
Yeah.
operate that way. And most people think, like you said, they may think you're trying to take advantage of them or an agent is trying to take advantage of them or whatever. But it's like, dude, I'm an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur. If you want to go do this on your own, hey, mazel tov, right? You can do this. But you want my time, my energy, my experience, and spending time with you. I think people really lose sight of that. And it's like they just want something given to them. Like, agents will even say, well, can't you just give me some leads to work? It's like, dude, you got to get in the field here, man. You got to get on the court.
Let me tell you the biggest mistake I've because I mean we all talk about the things we do well. I want to focus on a lot of the things because I don't know that I've done a lot well.
Okay.
I've done a lot wrong, right? I don't know that I've done a lot super well. So there's a bunch of different models out there. The most consistent model, I think, in my opinion, is the one where, if you don't have money, see, you either have time or money, right? Everybody says that.
Yeah.
Well, money. If you have enough money to invest, we're like. If I were to go to Earl and I say, Earl, you want to come work with us? Yeah, of course. Hey, do you have 6 months worth of savings where if you don't make $1 for the next 6 months, you're going to be okay? What do you think 99% of the people are going to say?
No, I don't have any savings.
Not a chance, right? Okay. So then you got to be like, okay, now there's a pressure there, right? Or 3 months or whatever months, but there's a pressure there. Those folks got to start making money. So unless you've been in really high pressure situations, you don't know how to control those particular emotions. And the emotions will always get the best of you, right? So, if somebody comes in at 80% comp, well, think about that for a second, right, dude? Let's say somebody sells an $83 policy. That's it, $1,000 annual premium. Let's just round up a little bit, right? Let's say it's 80% comp. What do they make? $800, right? They're going to get advanced 75% of that, hypothetically speaking, right? And every scenario is different, but let's just keep it simple, right? You're going to get advanced $600. Well, let's say you sold one of those every day. How many people, right? And let's say you work 5 days. How many people are making $3,000 a week?
Not many.
Not many, right? Not many. A lot of people would kill to make $3,000 a week, right? Now, obviously, you take that $3,000 and you say, 30% charge back. Okay, like let's just take the 30% now, right? That's $2,100 that you got left, $900 in chargebacks.
Yeah.
So let's just keep the math simple. $2,000 a week, right? That's $8,000 at the end, with no lead cost or anything. That's not bad. I mean, that's great income, right? Most folks don't make $4,000 a month, right? $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month, right? Now you got to pay taxes and all. Like at the end of the day, right? That's just to learn. Now, are you going to be good enough to sell a policy every day? I don't know. Probably not. Not every day.
It might take you a minute. It's going to take you a minute to get to that level where you're doing 2, 3, 4 policies a day. But you got the lead spend and the ad spend and all that stuff involved in that as well.
But what do you need to get better every day?
To get better every day, you got to do it. I say this all the time. You're not going to get better by sitting back and thinking or watching a YouTube video on how to sell.
That's it. But what else happens, bro? So you got to get coaching, right?
Exactly.
So most of America, right, unless you're an entrepreneur and you understand the concept here, most of America thinks that it's really stupid to pay somebody $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 for consulting.
Yeah.
Okay, they do. Now, the only people that understand that is a genius idea are the ones that are really wealthy.
There is no, like, to where I've gotten myself, it has not come from not paying a lot of money to a coach or whatever, or consultant, right? To get the knowledge that I needed to get. I didn't get anything for free. If I wanted to learn, if I wanted to learn how to get leads on Facebook and run Facebook ads, I got to deal with someone that knows how to run that and do that. That's not an expense because you're making more on top of what it is that you're paying. But people are scared to do that. Wu-Tang Clan, scared money don't make money. It's like you've got, when you invest in yourself, and it's funny that people don't see it that way. And I think it's just one of those things where, okay, I see it and understand it. You see it and understand it because you've done it. And so you see the value in that. But I think initially, myself included, and probably you, were scared to make that first step, to actually do that, because it's like, am I going to do this? But here's the question that I have, Gerry. If what you're doing isn't working, if you double down on that, you're double downing on things that aren't working.
Yeah, I mean, 0 times 0 is still 0.
Exactly. And how much money are you wasting by not just going to a person that has the answer, getting that mentor,
It's
and
called
making that
stubbornness,
change?
bro.
Say that
It's
again.
called stubbornness and greed,
Stubbornness, and greed. And
right?
there
So
is a
that's it.
factor in there where people are afraid to get scammed or whatever. But sometimes I think that's just an excuse. I don't think there's a lot of scams going on now. I think there are just a lot of people not willing to do the work. And so then they call that a scam. Oh, it didn't work. No, you didn't work it.
Yeah,
You had the path laid out for you, but you just didn't work it. But you want to blame the coach or whatever that it didn't work. No, you didn't work. Because if it
yeah.
didn't work, no one would be successful doing it. In a program
Now,
or hiring a
now,
coach,
now, here's the thing. Earl. There are people I've seen it. Okay, there are people that are
Mm-hmm.
busting their butts. There are people that are making the dials. There are people that are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're putting in the work. I've seen it. I've had several folks come in and they're like ready to do it and they commit.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is they're just not good.
There it is. You said it right there. The
So
talent to do that. I mean, you're working the phones, but when you get someone online, you don't know how to do it. You have a process that will tell you how to do it. But the it factor is always that individual that either has that ability, that skill set, or they don't. And that's where people have to start being honest with themselves.
yep.
And that's where, the book by Ryan, whatever, I forget his name, called The Obstacle is the Way. If the obstacle is you not being able to close or get people to stay on the phone, guess what you need to hire a coach to help you with?
Yeah.
That.
But you got to listen. You got to listen. So,
Yeah.
Dude, I hear a lot of great advice, right? Like we all know every freaking diet out there, right? I know all about them.
Right.
I'm not going to do it, right? So, like, you got to follow through and you got to listen. So, dude, the people are not good enough. So, I compare a lot of times to, like, once again, let's go to sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I could try my hardest, and I mean like blood, sweat, tears, all of the above, right? To compare to whatever, I don't know, a football team, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
to try to make a football team. I'm just not good enough. I'll never be good enough in that particular aspect.
Right.
Now,
Right.
I just have to be realistic and know that okay, I'm out of my element here. But
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean I can't go to like an intramural team and just absolutely and utterly crush it and do well. Because if that's my
Yeah.
passion. So my
Exactly.
point to that is, dude, if you want to go chase the big money, right, and commissions and all that, dude, I know people right now that offer you 125, 130% comp right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I used to do that,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I have zero incentive to motivate and help and coach and train somebody that I put in that comp level. So,
Yeah.
um, my heart lets me do it, and I did it for a long time, Earl. And you know what?
Mm.
Um, it came back to bite me in the ass, bro, like big time. Like it.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of folks in this business that I've invested time, energy, money, resources on to help, just to help. With when I do that, my expectations is to get nothing. Um, but the reality is that you literally like, it's not even get nothing because I don't care about making money off of people. I want to make money with people,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I want to help people along the way. My problem came when like those folks just quit. They quit on me, and not
Yeah.
only did it impact me financially, but it impacted me emotionally. So
Right. Right.
now I'm very protective of my time and my emotions because I don't want to give it
Gotta be.
to everybody. But my point is, if you're coachable and you're willing to put in the work, we can do a lot of things to help you. But um, comp is going to be literally irrelevant if you don't know what you're doing. Like
Yeah.
I got guys reading scripts right now, dude. Like they'll ask me for my script. Like I want to hit my head with this microphone. They'll ask me for my script. I give them my script, and my script is unique to me, right?
Yeah.
Um, and Todd Hausberger is unique to him, and yours is unique to yours, and whatever. But it's like a robot, bro. Like they're reading the script and they're not listening to the client.
There's
A
no
script is an
emotional.
outline.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up about the script because, and I've said this verbatim before. It's like you get a script from anyone. I mean, there are a dime a dozen. You can download scripts from everywhere, but that script is in the voice of the person that actually is crushing it on that script. It's in their voice. When you get a script, it's like, especially when you're brand new, it is not a verbatim thing. You've got to put your own EQ, your emotional intelligence into the conversation. And so many people, what you said is exactly right. They sound like a robot. Someone answers the phone. Hey, my name is Earl Hall. I'm the underwriter assigned to your area. Click.
Bro,
right?
Like, be realistic. Like, I don't understand.
Who knows what an underwriter is?
Bro,
right?
Like, maybe I just keep it too simple, but it's like, hey, Earl, this is Gerry Ruffino calling you here about that life insurance you requested, brother. Is this a good time to chat? Yeah, yes or no, whatever. I don't care. Like, and sometimes I don't even ask if it's a good time to chat. Like, I don't have one script I follow with everybody. Now, I have a very good outline.
Right, because the stages and the steps, that you need to go through. You need to qualify them, make sure they're, able to get insurance. You want to see what their budget is. You want to know if the wife or the husband is available there. You want to know what their goals and plans are for the beneficiary, for their home, or if they lose their job or whatever. You just want to have a conversation around those things, but it is their bullet points that you're going through to make sure that you hit before you get to what's your social security number, right? What's your banking information? If you haven't covered that stuff to let them know that that's coming, when you get to that point, you're not handling any objections up front, which you can. And we should do a show on that as well, just about how to do that. But if you're just going down the bullet points, and I mean, honestly, Gerry, I was one that thought when I first started out in 1994 that a script was the thing, right? You had to, back then, obviously there was no quote unquote internet in 1994, not like how it is now, right? We didn't have lead.
You were afraid of the 2K movement.
Exactly, man. It's like we were going in home, and I had to memorize stuff to say, because I couldn't have a piece of paper out in front of me, whatever. So I had to learn how to just have a conversation. There was no laptop. You couldn't carry those big ass laptops they had back then around, and you couldn't get internet on them. It's like you guys are living in a dream world here of being able to sell as much life insurance as you're able to sell. But it's just one of those things where when you're using, if the way that you get better at selling and the way that you get better at sales is by doing sales. That is the only way to get better. It's not going to come because you sat down and read a script one day, and then all of a sudden you're Michael Jordan doing scripts. You've got to fail to success. And there are going to be some things that you will fail more at in the beginning because you just don't know.
You do, but here's the kicker. So if you keep doing the same crap and failing, and you keep doing the same crap, you're always going to keep failing. It doesn't matter how often you try. Mm-hmm. So you have to get the right mentorship, coaching, or you have to go outside and figure it out to increase your game a little bit, right? So if you can't sell, right, then you got to figure out what part in the sales process do I absolutely not only suck at.
Yeah.
And what part am I really good at? Okay. Mm-hmm. And you take the part that you're really, really good at, and you enhance that, and you take the part that you suck at, and you get better at that every day. Mm-hmm. Right.
1% better. They said just get 1% better every day.
But most folks, man, they're afraid to do something different. Mm-hmm. So, bringing it back to commission levels, I don't care what your commission level is if you're not making money. Now, I know plenty of folks at 130, 140% commission that are broke.
Wow. That says something right there, right?
Like, broke. And that's because it doesn't matter, dude. Like, it's the whole picture that matters, right? So it's going to be, obviously, comp matters, leads matter. It's going to have to be your sales structure that matters. It's going to be your upline that necessarily matters or doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You got to have a coach. You got to set yourself up for the right things. Our chargeback's destroying you. This is a business. It's not, you don't need to sell insurance forever. You need this is a business. Now, it's not you're not a business owner's day one. You develop it to be a business owner, right? Like, it takes time to take it from, a hot dog stand to a full out brick and mortar. Right. So it takes time. It takes energy. It takes money. It takes reinvestment. It takes commitment. And it's not just money. It's also knowledge, and knowledge goes a long way. So most folks, right? You remember that thing that came out with Kyler Murray where they when they signed him last year, said, hey, you got to invest 5 hours a week studying film. And that became a big deal. You can have all the natural God-given ability, but if you don't get better and watch film and get better and listen to your own calls, record your calls, listen to your calls.
That's the thing that I think does it for a lot of agents. If you're not recording your calls, you're not going to learn. You're not going to learn what to do better.
Like, just be like, damn, I messed that up. Or go back and review your call and be like, okay, instead of saying, oh, that client sucks, this lead sucks. No, bro, you suck. Right? So go back and listen. Oh, man. So I didn't listen to the client. Like, I've been listening to a couple people's calls, and it's like, you didn't listen to the client. Yeah. You just read the script. Yeah. And it's like, dude, they just literally told you what they wanted. Now you listen to their terminology. Do they speak insurance? Right. Hey, who's going to be the underwriter of this product? Hey, what are the premiums go? That's insurance language.
Yeah.
Right. So now I know that person has knowledge. So, hey, I often ask, I'm like, oh, Earl, were you in the insurance business before? Yes or no? And I'd be like, dude, I love when people were in the insurance business or know the language. Thank goodness. This makes life a lot easier. So, I mean, what are, and then you kind of go take it whatever direction is from there. But, yeah, dude, it drives me nuts, man. Sometimes I think who deserves a better commission, the percentages.
What's that?
Are the clients themselves. They're selling the hell out of these insurance agents.
Yeah.
A sale happens in every every communication. Every transaction, there's a sale. Absolutely. And honestly, insurance agents right now, most of them are getting sold like crap, like all day long.
Somebody's going to get sold on the call. Either you're going to sell them a policy or they're going to sell you on why they don't need it.
Yeah.
A sale is made every call.
Yeah. Some people are just not that good at it, bro. Man, neither am I. So here's the kicker. I'm not that great. Just got to get better every day, bro. 2023 is around the corner. Next show is going to be next year. Dude, you go get turned up. I'm going to go get mentally prepared, and we're going to have some damn fun.
We're going to have some fun, man. The new year's bright. The new year's great. I'm hoping everyone, Gerry and your family, everyone watching or listening, you can find us now. The podcast is actually audio podcasted on Apple Podcast. It's on Amazon. It's all different places. You can check it out. Make sure that you check out the links in the description. Gerry's got some good stuff for you. He does a Zoom session every day with a bunch of life insurance agents. You can get on. You can actually learn how to sell. Just listen. Ask questions. You're going to learn. Take advantage of the things that Gerry's doing. We've got a free course at AJC, over 30 hours of training. Click the link in the description. It's absolutely freaking free. Do something. Go into the new year armed with these tools, and I guarantee you it's going to make a difference in what it is that you're doing. Well, man, Gerry, you have a happy new year, man. So glad that you're co-host here with me on the 7-Figure Agent podcast.
My man, let's have fun, man. Happy New Year, everybody.
Absolutely. All right. You guys have a good one. We'll see you in 2023.